Hello, Cardfighters! It's Cardfight Oasis again, coming at you with another deck profile. This one is Standard Neo Nectar. So without further ado, let's get right into the profile. So, we run 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously 4 of Bay. We run 4 of White Lily Musketeer Cecilia. So, this is a Forest Clan. Cecilia's skill is Focus. Act. Vanguard once per turn, counterblast 1, and retire a rearguard. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 2 cards from among them to rearguard, and shuffle your deck. If your soul has a grade 3, call up to 3 cards instead of 2, and 3 units in your front row get plus 10,000 power until the end of turn. She's really good. You run 4 of her, and she's basically, ideally, your second ride. Because you actually want to run into the other grade 3 first, which I will tell you right now. So, the first grade 3 you actually want to go into is Maiden of Trailing Rose, the new one. Now, we're only running 2 because you really don't see her that often. You can work with Cecilia being your first ride, but ideally you want Maiden of Trailing Rose to be your first ride. So she also has Force. Her skill is Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When placed, call up to 1 plant token to rearguard. If this unit is on Vanguard, call up to 2 plant tokens instead of 1. And the plant tokens are grade 0, and they get plus 5,000 power on a crit. And have boost. So, her Act skill, Vanguard once per turn, Soul Blast 1, and 3 of your plant tokens get plus 5 until the end of turn. She's especially good to boost the tokens on your rearguard. If you beef up, you get Neo Nectar numbers still, even in the new format, which is really good. So, just, yeah, first ride, most definitely. Now, as a backup, and for kicks and giggles, we run 2 of Exploding Tomato. Now, a lot of people said he was trash, but oh my god, he is so good, especially for tokens. And when you want to pull maximum skills off, he's really good. And we only run 2. So, Act, Vanguard, Rearguard, once per turn, retire 2 plant tokens, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of turn. Auto Rearguard, at the end of the battle that it attacked, retire this unit, call up to 2 plant tokens to your rearguard in the back row. So he's pretty good because he can create the tokens you pop, like you get rid of for effects for the next turn. And, he gets plus 10,000 power. That's his Axe skill, so it's like, okay, beef, you still get the Neo Nectar number. And we only run 2. Now on to grade 2s. We run 1, 2, 3, 4 of Spiritual Tree Sage Irminsul. Irminsul's skill is Auto Rearguard when placed. If you have 2 or more grade 0 rearguards, counterblast 1, draw a card, and all of your units in the same column as this unit get plus 5 until the end of turn. So that doesn't just include the card in the back behind him, because ideally you want him to be in the front. It also includes him. So both him and a token, or whatever's in his column, will get plus 5. So he beefs himself up. That's really good. And then we run 4 of Pansy Musketeer Sylvia. She's good because basically ride, spawn a token, and it's Vanguard Rearguard, so even on placement on Rearguard, she spawns a token. And this deck, all about tokens. So run 4 of her, definitely. And then, for more beefy powerness, we run Lily of the Valley Musketeer Kaivant. So Kaivant's skill is Auto Rearguard When placed, this unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of turn for each of your grade 0 rear guards. So basically, automatically, you want to have 3 tokens on your field at least 75% of the time. So when he comes out, he basically gets an automatic 15 boost, which power numbers. And it's especially good against other Force clans. Like this deck went against Dimension Police, and Dimension Police had a tough time keeping up with it. So, definitely 4. Now, grade 1s. So I think this is a little odd. I think this is where a lot of people are going to differ. But we run 4 of Dandelion Musketeer Merca. So Merca's skill is Act, Vanguard Rearguard, when placed, Soul Blast 1, and call a plant token to a rearguard in the same column as this unit. So this can be in front of her, this can be in back of her, and then automatically her second skill will kick off. When your other rearguard is placed in the same column as this unit gets plus 3,000 till the end of turn. So, comboing her skill with Cecilia, automatically she's always going to get a plus 3. So it's good because it creates that power columns. So if you match her with Kaivant, that's it. It's done. Come. Okay. Next. We run 3 Lily of the Valley Musketeer Rebecca. Now, Rebecca's skill is auto rearguard. When placed, one of your other grade 1 or less units gets plus 5,000 till the end of turn. Auto rearguard, at the end of your turn, Soul Blast and retire a plant token and return this unit to your hand. More often than not, her first skill is what's being used for the plus power, but her second skill is kind of handy because you basically get to return it to your hand. So that basically creates extra shield, and you can use her for next turn. So you can use her over and over again. So 3 copies of Rebecca is actually a very comfortable number. So keeping her at 3 is really good. And then we run 3 Fruits Basket Elf. She's really good because basically she spawns tokens. So Act, Rearguard, Soul Blast 1, retire this unit, call up to 2 plant tokens to Rearguard. And if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, those plant tokens get plus 5 till the end of turn. So beef her up, create tokens, beef the tokens up, just, the power columns. It's very good. And 3 of her, very comfortable at that number. And then for basically kind of like how Nova Grappler has Jet Razor, where it gains plus 3 for every time a rearguard's called. We have Corolla Dragon. Basically does the same thing. So auto rearguard, when your other rearguard is placed by your card's ability, this unit gets plus 3 until the end of turn. So if you're using Cecilia's skill, maximum times, if you're using her skill and at least calling 2, she's always going to be a plus 10. If you call 3 by Cecilia's skill, always going to be a plus 15. If you spawn the tokens, plus 15. Not 15, plus 9. So she's always going to boost in everything. But more often than not, you're very rarely going to get her. One of my other team members, or Cardfight members, was saying that you shouldn't put Corolla behind the Vanguard, but when I've played with this deck and my friend has played with this deck, when we've created the power columns and increased Cecilia like plus 10 and 20 with the force markers, it's been a power column that most of the time, unless you have a PG, you can't really guard so well because of Neo Nectar's numbers. So 3 is comfortable. I would probably dump it down to 2 since I kind of rarely see it anyway. But that's my opinion. My friend's opinion, leave it at 3. So now on to the triggers. So it's a standard trigger lineup. So we run 4 of the crit trigger Night Queen Musketeer Daniel. And then we run 4 of the new Chestnut Bullets, so 8 crit. And then obviously 4 heals, so 4 Watering Elf. And the Draw PG. Whoop, Draw PG. Maiden of Blossom Rain, 4. So it's a standard 8 crit, 4 draw. It's pretty good for the Force Clan. It actually works with this deck. I noticed that most Force Clans are running 6 crit, 6 draw. This is one of the decks where you can do either or. So it's very good. And then of course our starter, Broccoli Musketeer Kara. Because she's the only starter for Neo Nectar, if I remember correctly. And same skill, when wrote upon, draw a card. Basically all the starters are like that. I think they did that to fix rides, because a lot of people were having struggle with riding cards. And then we have a G assist, which is now changed to just assist in regular play. So, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plant tokens. This one because it is cuter. And then for this deck, we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 force markers. So pretty standard. I say 6, like I think I said this before in another deck profile. 6 force markers should be, 6 to 8 should be standard in any deck, any gift marker, because 8 grade 3s, 9 grade 3s, just whatever the amount of grade 3s you have, unless you're a deck that gets double force markers, say like a DP, you want to have maybe 10. That's, you know, what I suggest. Or if you're an Excel clan, like for Gold Paladin, you want to have like maybe 10, like safe numbers. But also you don't want to be penalized in tournament for not having enough markers, so a safe bigger number is what I recommend. Alright. Well, y'all, Neo Nectar deck profile. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye from Cardfight Oasis.